Hey, and welcome everyone to another DE Hammered video. This is going to be the first video in a series that is going to go over my next project, which is a Lego Infinity Mirror. We'll be covering the acrylic part of the Infinity Mirror, and so we'll be designing the Lego minifig and the Lego logo. Whew. If you want to follow along, make sure you subscribe so you can see all the other videos as I progress through this build. This first video is going to be just on design. Next video will be on the design of the box in Illustrator, and the following ones will be putting it together and getting it going. So if you want to follow along, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. But let's jump into the design part of this. All right, so I've actually drawn this out a couple of times now. Has some recording issues and whatnot between microphones and video, and oh, it's been fun. But this is what we'll be designing today. So first thing, I got these photos off the internet. This is the minifig my brother wanted. And we got the Lego Lego logo over here. Oh man, I need some water. All right. So first, let's trace out this minifig. What we're going to do is lock that first layer and add a new one. Then we'll come over here and select the Curvature Tool. A little bit different than the Pen Tool, but it's a very powerful tool here. Let's start off on the helmet and tracing out, getting the outline of that so we can just kind of move our way down. We'll start here at the tip here, and we'll just follow it here. Make sure we get that there. Oh, let's change our color here so we can see what we're doing. Bump that up. All right, so we've got that first part here, but now we need to come in. And with the Curvature Tool, if I do that, it's going to pop this line out to the side. So to prevent that from happening, what we'll do is double click on that node there, come in, and it's straight. So now if I was to go down, you can see this gives me a corner, whereas this gives me a curve. So I'm going to double click here too, and then I'll hold shift down. Whoa, hold shift down to give me a straight line down. And then I'll double click to get a straight line corner again. And we'll bring it into about there. Now I'm going to double click to get a straight line. Bring it about half, try to find halfway there, but we can match that up here pretty easily. I hit A, and we grab those two nodes right there. We're going to right click, average, vertical, and now these two nodes are lined up. So I'll hit V, got that selected. Now Control C, and then Control V. And what that does is create an exact copy underneath. And the reason I do that is now all I have to do is hit Shift, or hold down Shift and then the right arrow, bring that over, right click, transform, and reflect. And we want to do vertical again. Let's see, how close am I? I think that's about good, because now we can come here, select these two, average, just make sure they're right on top of each other, and then Control J to join. We'll scroll down here and do the same thing, average both, and Control J. And that gives us a good outline of the helmet. So now we can go back to our Curvature Tool, and let's do the inside here. And we're just following that highlight right there in the picture. Gonna get it to go to straight again. And then we'll just follow this along here. straight, give that corner straight again. And then now you can see here, if I do that, it's going to make it curved. That's fine. If you just double click here, pops it back to that. All right, so clean this up. We just kind of select the nodes here, zoom in, and we'll mess around with the handlebars here to just give us a nice rounded corner in there. And it's kind of snaking in there, so let's grab that handle. And just get it to where we feel it looks best. And I don't like how that snakes in there too much like that, so that out. And I think that's pretty good. All right, so V to select that, Control C and then B, Shift and right arrow, right click, transform, reflect, over. Good. I don't like how pointy that is, so I'll select that, and I can just grab this little dot right here to, so it's not so pointy, give it a little bit more rounder corner. Cool. All right, let's do this part here. Let's just follow along here, and we'll clean it up here in just a second. Okay, hit A to get to the node selection, and I want to get it dragged in there. Grab that corner so we can edit this line, make it a little bit more natural there. Come in and do this side. Again, grab that corner, pull that handle up. There we go. All right, so let's go back to the curvature tool. And I'm going to double click to start off with a straight line, bring it down. And then I'm going to do another straight. That way we can make that corner there. We'll come and clean that up in a little later. Still want to have some curvature here. Not as much, but we'll follow it along here. And we'll go straight and hold shift to come straight up. And now we can go grab those nodes. And if you grab and then hit shift and hold, it'll pull it, keep it straight. Excuse me. All right, go ahead and we can do the eyes real quick. So we'll hold down shift, and that gives you a perfect circle. Great band, by the way. Control C and B. We'll move that out over like so. Get it lined up. Go back to our curvature tool. Get the inside here. And so the curvature tool and pen tool are really great tools, very powerful. They do take some practice. They do take some work. I highly suggest, I remember it took me a while before I was ever comfortable with them. So give them a try, keep practicing, just keep doing it. I mean, I've been using Illustrator now for 10 plus years, and I'm still learning new things. It's just like painting or any other art. You just got to keep doing it, and eventually you'll get there. I'm still getting there. All right, so we're gonna got that averaged together, so I make sure those nodes are connected, and so it doesn't have any small line in between that may mess up later on, and that's more important when you're doing more complex figures. So I'm going to hit Control-J, and we'll get this cleaned up here. You think after drawing this several times, you have it down, but always something new. Always do it differently. Those cleaned up, bring that out. All right, let's give this guy a smile. Go back to our curvature tool, get about halfway like we did with the helmet, bring it up. So on to get something this tight right here, we'll double click to make it straight, and see, we'll just bring it in like this. Now, and notice that nice curve it gave us there. And we'll go halfway. We'll grab those, average, vertical, and we'll worry about the anchor points and getting those straight here in just a little bit. But first, let's do that. Control-C, B, transform, reflect, shift and left. We'll grab those two anchor points and average them together. Same here. Before we join them, I'm just gonna straighten out those handles. Control-J to join. Here. Join, and then down. And there we have our smiley face. And let's add a little something here just to give it some more depth. Bring it in. Go. Right. All right, let's work on the body next. And for the body, we're going to do the rounded rectangle. We'll start there, bring it up here, and then we're going to use A to select these nodes right here. Now we're going to scale, so we'll hit S. You can see my cursor change. Then I'm going to hold down Shift and click my left mouse button and pull it in to the left. So, and then let's fix these up because they're not that round. So we can just come in here. Go over here and do the same thing. Now, right there we go. All right, and go ahead and put that in. Look, that looks good there. That right there, and good. All right. Now let's work on the arms. Go back to our curvature tool. We'll start up here and just start tracing it out. Curve is good for this one. So here we can go two ways. We could bring it in down here, or we can take it and loop it along this. For mine, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to double click there, do a straight in there so I can get this short little there. Hit escape to start a new line. We'll just come right here. Go. Then let's get a small one here. And then let's start on the hand. All right, so let's start tracing out the hand here. Again, got a sharp turn like that, just double click because we want to get that turn there, and then just trace it out. I'm going to trace out the full outer part of the hand, and then I'll come in and add the I guess the 3D part of it. So we'll just trace this out, get the complete outer. We'll go straight again. Go. Want to go straight. Off. All right. So now let's finish drawing out the hand here. Give it some depth. And we'll go in and clean all that up. Just want to start, I just want to get my lines in place, and that way I can focus on cleanup, making it look better, instead of, oh, this looks good, oh wait, I need to draw. Just drawing out all the lines first seems to help and make it just a little bit easier than trying to clean up and then move on, clean up. You know, I like to do all the cleanup on parts after I've drawn out kind of the rough lineage. And just using A to grab these anchor points and cleaning out, smoothing out these curves here. Go. Then we can come up here and clean this out. And since I am doing this for CNC, I like to bring it to the line. So if you're using a drag bit and all that fine detail, it just looks a lot more sharper. There we go. I think that can come up just a little. There we go. Let's bring. All right, now you don't have to, but I'm going to select all this and then hit Control-G to group it. And then I'll Control-C and B again. Shift, right arrow, bring this over. Right click, transform, reflect. All right, and then let's just kind of get it placed here. Good. Now let's go in and clean up all this. We now have the arms done. So as you can see here, we can go ahead and we can, on more complex images, you know, labeling what everything is and getting them either in groups or in different layers really helps spread things out. So here we'll just put right arm, left arm. All right, let's get on down to the legs. We'll get the shield here at the end. Let's go ahead and grab our rounded rectangle tool. We'll hit A, and we'll select these. And then we're going to come up to the corners here. And if we change this down to 1, it's going to give us smaller rounded corners. And on these, we want them smaller, but not too much smaller. I think that works. I think this needs to come in just a little bit. Good. Next, we'll get the rectangle tool. There, like so. All right, let's go back to the curvature tool. Now, this isn't necessarily, you could draw it flat. I like to give it a little bit of a curve, just to because we know it's round, but not too much. Then we can hit A, and then I can grab these two, average, horizontal, so they're lined up. And then if I hit Control-J, it closes it off. All right, so let's grab that node, bring it up that part. All right, and that leaves us with the middle section of the leg. And we can just take a line tool, bring it down, find that anchor point. So it's never going to, you don't have to be perfect on this, but sometimes when you're drawing, you got to make decisions. But let's go ahead and bring this full side out just a little bit, like so. We'll bring in this. Oops, forgot that. Got that little node there. Bring this in. There we go. All right, we can Control G to group that. Call it left leg. B, make sure we got it selected. Control C, B. Hold down Shift and right arrow. Scooch it over. And we'll want to form that. Select. Got the legs, but we'll want to rename this right leg. Grab our line tool. I'm holding Shift while I do this, so I get a perfectly straight line. And we're almost there. Now we just need to get this shield done. All right, I'm still going to use the Curvature Tool here. And we'll start right here in the middle. And I'm going to make it straight, so I double click. And I come out to about here. I'm going to double click, hold down Shift, and double click. And now, boom. All right, now let's, oh, forgot. Need to lock that, make sure I can't select it. Good. Let's get these nodes. Average, vertical. That way they're lined up. Come here, and we can go and put in our corner here, or we can just grab that dot and do it manually. I think that looks good. Okay, let's V to select that. Control C, Control B, Shift and right arrow again. So learning all those kind of things just helps speed up your process when you're doing these. Believe me, 10 years ago trying to do this would have taken hours and lots of bad words, I'm pretty sure, trying to get it all done, and just a lot of frustration. But now, this takes about 30 minutes. I'm going to average that there, and then Control J to join. And that's an important part for what we're going to do next. We're going to average, then and also right click and hit join. I want to make this a little less sharp. There we go. And the minifig is on a little bit of a slant, so he's not perfectly lined up. Unsharpen that corner. Good. Now, we want to hit V to get our selection tool, and we want to select our shield. And we're going to go to Object. We're going to go to Path and Offset Path. And as you can see, it makes a makes a path within the shield. Let's say you wanted it outside, you were doing a different design, put it out. but we want ours in, so we're going to go -4 millimeters, hit OK. Now we have an interior shield. And let's get working on this Phoenix bird. Not sure exactly what it is, but again, we're going to go back to our curvature tool. As this has a little beak out here, I'll save that for the last. Let's start here at the neck and trace it out. So one of the things you can see here on these, what I do when you get these like a lot of sharp turns in and out, double click for straight, find the center of where you're going, like so, and curve in, straight, straight, and we'll clean up those sharp corners here once we get it all traced out. But let's just finish tracing this out real quick. All right, now that we got that traced out, I'm going to go here, grab our line tool. We're going to find that anchor point. We're going to I'm going to hold down Shift while I pull this down. Okay. That's going to split it in half for us, but let's go ahead and clean up some of the sharp corners. So see if I pull that, it's just going to have those straight corners. So what we can do here is just grab the handles, pull them in like so to get that. Now we got a nice rounded, nice and round there. And we'll just go ahead and do that. A lot of these sharp corners. And then clean up some of those, make those lines a little. And getting used to the handles and everything and the corners. It just takes time and practice. Know what you like and your own style with all this, but again, I think it's worth it. It's a great skill to have. There, I think we're good. All right, so let's do the Control-C, Control-B again, and Shift and right arrow. Add over, transform, reflect. Let's zoom in here. I'm going to hit V so I'm on the selection. Went a little too far. Bring that in so when it hits, there we go. And hit A to get my nodes. All right, but that also selected my line. But if I hold down Shift, click that line, it's unselected. Now let's just make sure those nodes are lined up, and we'll hit Control-J to join them. And let's go finish this head. Our Curvature Tool. Again, we'll clean that up after done tracing out. There we go. Got our bird phoenix shield all done. All right, let's make sure we unlock everything. All right, let's see how that turned out. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Oh, I think we had add a little bit more depth to the body here. Let's go back to the curvature tool. Come here. Again, we'll clean this up here in a little bit. Pull that handle up just. So this is just giving us depth and just giving us a little bit more, giving us a little bit more depth to this minifig. C and B, bring it over, right click, transform, reflect. Little, let's see how he can. Yeah, a little bit different than my other ones, but I like it. So let's move on to the logo. All right, so let's unlock that. Let's lock that guy up. Add another layer. What I'm going to do is select with hit V to get to your select, Control C, B. Just made a copy of this. Let's bring it up to this layer. And so the reason we do that, I do that at least, is I always have an original just in case the image trace doesn't work. Just sometimes you need to start from scratch. So always trying to make sure I have a copy of the original somewhere. But we'll lock that out, turn it off, make sure we're back on our right layer, and let's select this. So before you just go to image trace and try messing around there, you can always just let Illustrator try to decide what's best for you. You can go to Object, Image Trace, Make, or Make and Expand. I'm going to just do Make so you can understand and see what Expand does. So you have this, and it gives you just a straight image trace. Move it around, but you can't select any of the pieces. So what Make and Expand does is hit that. Now you have a group. Gives you all the different components to this image trace. And to get into a group, you just double click and you can see how it kind of fades all that out. So now I can take that and I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to make sure there's no little artifacts hanging around, but I'm pretty happy with the way that came out. I'm going to change that just so you can see all the different there. All right, let's go ahead. Let's scale this up. And there we go. Put a little bit of a background. And we're done. Oh, wait. I know I forgot something. Turn that off. Let's do that. These arms. Let's make sure we get back onto the right layer. That makes a big difference. And if I hit I can just come here and that. And this is just adding a little depth, a little detail. Good. I like that. All right. Turn that back on. And there we go. Thank you everybody for sticking around and watching all this. I hope this helps you and gave you a few pointers, but I'll leave a link down to a great Instagram account that just kind of goes over little different tricks and tips for Illustrator. Again, I've been using Illustrator 10 plus years and I'm still learning new and interesting things that you can do with it. It can feel a little overwhelming, but don't let it. Just keep pushing at it, keep trying, and you're going to get there, I promise you. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you had a great time. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit like. Be on the lookout for the next parts of this build. And until next time, keep making stuff.